Seasonal affective disorder can play havoc with our emotions and lives. In this video, we will examine what it is and how you can beat the blues and find some sunshine in your life. Just a quick reminder, this video is for educational purposes only. Always consult your doctor if you have any medical concerns. In the winter months, seasonal affective disorder can cause all kinds of physical and emotional problems. Seasonal affective disorder is a disorder that is distinct from regular depression. There are going to be symptoms that are similar. We're going to go over those in a second, but I wanted to make this distinction because, first of all, it's not the same as winter blues. People refer to it as feeling generally a little bit sad or a little bit bummed about it being colder or the sun being out. Affective disorder is also distinct in that it's not something that's related to a specific trauma or an incident. It's also not something that can be as effectively addressed with a typical depression-style treatment. There are things that seasonal affective disorder specifically requires in order to treat it. Seasonal affective disorder is going to be similar to other depressive symptoms. Those symptoms are going to be things like feeling down most days, maybe even feeling like a disappointment or a burden to your loved ones, feelings of worthlessness or guilt or hopelessness or loneliness, and a loss of interest in things that were previously joyful to you, especially like your hobbies, your interests, things that bring you joy. That is a flag to be aware of. Also lower energy and fatigue and sometimes restlessness and also frustration and even irritability. Generally, if you're noticing that your mood is a little bit strange, this can be in combination with a lack of interest in the things you used to enjoy. There can also be feelings of having no hope. Animals hibernate in the winter, as well as plants and trees which go through a type of hibernation. Humans hibernate in different ways, and this is natural and part of the seasonal cycle. It can even be useful because it makes us turn inward and reflect. We sometimes call this hibernating, which is often said in kind of a jokey way, but it's not really a joke, right? When people isolate themselves and they're not really as apt to engage with their family, their community, their friends, things like that, that's going to be something we want to pay attention to. Also, overeating or binge eating, specifically if we're doing it for the dopamine, right? If we're feeling like nothing is interesting and nothing is really grabbing my attention, and so I'm going to eat because it's at least a source of dopamine. Don't judge yourself if you find yourself overeating. Hypersomnia, or sleeping more than you normally do, is something to watch out for. It's important to differentiate this from just being tired because you've had a rough week. Sleeping in excess will become more noticeable. For some people, the winter festivities can make them feel even more depressed. There are lots of fun, happy and joyous occasions, so enjoy them if you can. Share with your loved ones and community. First of all, the sun is around much less. This can create circadian rhythm disruptions. The circadian rhythm is like our sleep schedule. So, maintaining a healthy sleep hygiene is very important for your mental health. Usually, having your circadian rhythm out of whack is often correlated with depression and changes in your mood. With the sun going down earlier and not being around as much, that can negatively impact our circadian rhythm. It can also affect the way we produce serotonin. Serotonin decreases in the absence of sun, and this can be correlated with a decrease in our serotonin levels, which obviously equals the big sads on darker days. Often, it's understood that this causes our body to produce more melatonin. Melatonin is a neurotransmitter that helps you feel sleepy, and having too much melatonin in your system can also be correlated with the big sads. How do we deal with seasonal affective disorder? Here are some suggestions. It is important to remember that the environment is the basic cause. It is important to be aware of our environment and make changes where we can, because it is cyclical. It is something that we have to plan for and work to minimize the impact of, rather than hoping to erase it altogether. Something called seasonal affective disorder lights work by mimicking the way that the sun impacts our body. It's light at a very particular frequency that mimics the sun, and this is why it's helpful to us. The light is emitted in a very specific frequency, so just sitting in front of a ring light or fluorescent lighting is not the same as sitting in front of a sad light. Grow lights can emit a similar frequency, but it's not the same as a full spectrum light. The MediAcous light lamp at 10,000 lux is a very good UV-free sun lamp. See the link in the description. If you don't need the full-on sad light option, but you still want a little extra seasonal support, the Philips Smart Alarm Clock will do the trick. The clock slowly illuminates to mimic the sunrise, along with optional wake-up sounds. The link is in the description. Essential oils and mood-lifting scents can make a change to our mood. Essential oils have been shown to affect brain chemistry in a positive way. With movement in some form of exercise, endorphins are generated. It does not mean you have to do some serious gym work, because even moderate exercise can lift your spirits. A walk around the block or in a park or tai chi or yoga can move you into a better space. Try to keep it light and fun and not expect yourself to do some hard workout when you are not in the mood. Please hit the like and/or subscribe button if this is helpful to you. One of the things that is a warning sign for SAD is our social withdrawal, and so it's very important that we make a conscious effort to engage socially, even when it feels like I really don't want to, because your body's natural response to things like social engagement is to your advantage. It might not feel like a thing that you're interested in, but engaging in some form of social engagement will be worth the effort. While the digital community is also very valid and very important, go outside, listen to nature if you can. Being inside during the daylight hours for an excess amount of time and not carving out time to go outside to socialize, to walk your dog, or to just sit in the sun for a little can be very healing. Trouble finding the motivation sometimes, but the effort will be well worth it. There are lots of different ways that you can engage with coping strategies that might be more effective from one person to the other, but generally speaking, I really want to encourage you to entertain an existing craft or hobby, or even start a new one, maybe one that will get you out of the house. Get some fresh air circulating in your home. Winter usually means central heating and closed windows. This can lead to less oxygen. Oxygen and mood elevation go together. Sometimes just getting a breath of fresh air can make a world of difference. To be kind to yourself. You have a lot to deal with, like politics, health, family, and job, just to name a few. These types of issues can make seasonal affective disorder worse, so be kind to yourself. Recognize that you're going to go through natural ebbs and flows in this season, and that's okay. Stay as happy and healthy as you can. I hope this video on SAD will bring some sunshine into your life.